Tell me about everything you've ever done, Dad. The whole story. Start with Breeze.
Around the way on the block, call me Breeze.
Come on, we gotta move this way. Kanan's gonna be looking for us. So he's gonna introduce us to Breeze tonight.
Hi. The hustling, all the work, from working the corner for Breeze and Kanan, it brought us here.
It set me the f up.
That doesn't mean that Uncle G did it.
Shawn, I was running than me. Kanan. Ghost and Tommy kept coming around talking about some shit I wasn't down with. So he got rid of me by sending me to prison.
Crazy, right? How close we once were.
Yeah, and then you used everything I taught you against me.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video. So a few weeks ago we got the teaser trailer for the last and final season of Raising Kanan, and within the last week or so we also got glimpses and sneak peeks of them shooting and filming the first season for Power Book Origins, the story telling the upbringing of young Ghost and young Tommy. So for this video we're gonna go into the casting decisions, of course, spend some more as Ghost, been a lot of question marks about that. We're going to talk about it, and we're also going to talk about the speculation of how the storyline could and should play out with the introduction of course, Breeze in the last season. I think what they plan on doing is having, since they're filming Origins now and Raising Kanan is already done, they want to have possibly the season lead into one after another. So it's possibly going to be a time period where we basically get 20-hour episodes in a row, which would be fucking crazy if they were able to do that. So we got to know when they're going to be done filming though. So in this video we're going to break down everything, including possible speculation on actors for characters we expect to see play a pivotal role in this show as well, such as the, of course, Jukeboxes, the Angelas, so on and so forth. So without further ado, you guys could go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe, especially let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on these casting choices, and give me your very early, like very early predictions. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So for starters, we gotta talk about the time skip, of course. Now, in the last season of Raising Kanan, I believe they said it was like 92 or 93, and a lot of us was expecting Ghost, Tommy, Kanan, all of them to meet around 96, but we already got the leaked exclusive that episode 1 of Origins is titled 2002. So this is possibly starting after the high school years of Ghost and Tommy's life, and this possibly could skip over a lot, including things like Ghost and Angela's relationship, because obviously she went to Cho during high school years and left him. So maybe we don't even get to see any of that, and it fast forward to where Kanan's already in control. Now obviously we're gonna see him developing into that kind of role in the last season of Raising Kanan with him and Breeze, but how much time passes between the end of Raising Kanan and the start of Origins we still have yet to see, because I thought we were possibly gonna get introduced to young Ghost and young Tommy in the last season of Raising Kanan, but with this big time skip I doubt they put those actors in those roles unless they use even younger versions of them or something like that. Who knows at this point? But this time skip is very interesting because it seems like they're ultimately gonna skip over a lot. Now this Angela situation actually brings us to Ghost's dad with the time skip being included, because as us Power fans know, no matter how much we want them to go off the logic and the hints and clues we heard about their past from the OG Power, they don't tend to follow everything one for one, scene for scene, word for word. And I say this to say, when Ghost and Angela met back up in the original Power and they talked about her leaving for Cho, he talked about her at least coming back when his dad died.
You finally got your nightclub. Your dad would have been proud.
I told you about my father's nightclub.
Cho was the opportunity of a lifetime.
Then when my pops died, I thought then at least you would reach out.
Now, with this time skip, of course, taking place, I wonder if his dad is going to be included as a character, and we at least get that background of information and everything of the sort. So if they really is going to include his dad and do this time skip, maybe that gives us more reason to believe that Angela will not be in the story at all whatsoever, which is kind of strange, because if they don't put her in now, her and Ghost don't see each other for like 20 fucking years, so they just never are gonna include her. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's the right decision, but his dad still can possibly be included in the storyline, especially because we seen him tell Tariq that his dad tried to keep him out the game when he was Tariq age and he didn't listen.
When I was your age, I thought it was the right thing to do. My father tried to get me to turn my back on the streets. I didn't listen. I'm trying to protect you from a life of misery, son.
So it makes sense he was already somewhat established when his dad did pass. And also we overhear him telling Shawn, I believe, that Kanan was there for him when his dad died, which is why he didn't kill Kanan and he sent him to jail instead, because he had love for him and everything like that.
My dad told me that you sent him to jail.
Back then, I had big plans. Big plans that Kanan couldn't see. It was either set him up for him to go away, or it was me killing him. I wasn't gonna kill him. When my pops died, your dad was there for me, man.
So it makes sense that his dad still would or could play a pivotal role and big impact on Ghost this season, but he definitely wouldn't be making it past a season 1 if they were to include him. And possibly his Uncle Gabe is going to be there as well. Remember, he went to see his Uncle Gabe in the later seasons of the original Power, and he talked about his dad's debt, how he owed money to these youngsters and everything like that.
Where you been? I haven't seen you since the night he died. Tried to tell father we needed to pay those drug deals to leave us alone. Tried to tell him not to talk to the police, that those kids were bad news.
I actually made a whole video about how possibly Kanan and Breeze set up his dad to die. Once again, they don't go off things and clues we heard in the original show. It might not happen, but I think it's a pretty good theory, so you guys could go check that out if you're interested. But without Angela being there, I do think his dad and Uncle Gabe still can be possibilities for characters. Now, of course, with them possibly skipping over the Angela storyline, is very likely and possible then that someone like a Tasha could or should be included. Who knows? We're gonna see. Someone we do know that's gonna be included is, of course, Jarita. Now, when Crystal got pregnant in Raising Kanan, was this last season or the season before? Or the season before that she got the abortion last season. A lot of people speculated it was this Shawn mama and everything like that, and I told you guys no, Shawn's mom was Jarita. We met her in the original Power when Kanan got out of jail and everything like that, and she told Kanan make sure to protect him, look out for him, all that. And I said that when Origins come, we possibly was gonna see her, and it looks like it was showcasing that she's gonna be a main character. We see her name up there with Kanan as well as with Kate E. We know she's gonna get pregnant, possibly already be pregnant, possibly already have a baby, have Shawn. Kanan is gonna have a kid basically in this storyline, so that already lets us know that this time skip is in full effect, especially if the kid is already here. So Jarita is going to be ride or die. She's going to be in the picture going into Power Origin. Her inclusion actually makes more sense for them possibly to have Tasha come along somewhere along the way once Shawn is here, of course, because if we remember once again from the original Power, when Tasha and Ghost called the police on him for the tail light and they call him with the drugs, everything, Kanan told Shawn that it was a woman's voice, it was Tasha, and he told him that Shawn was in the car with him when it happened.
Your uncle set me up, sent me to jail. You was in the car with me.
I remember.
So that means Shawn was pretty young. That means Tasha had some involvement, so she was around. So if she's not here in season 1, she at the very least season 2 or 3. And once again, with that looking like there won't be any Angela involvement, they're gonna need Ghost as another love interest, and Tasha just makes the most sense, honestly. Now, I don't see how they can work Angela in the picture with where they're starting off with the series. Next up, another obvious character, Jukebox. Now, this actually is an interesting case because the current actor who plays her in Raising Kanan, Haley Kilgore, said like they asked her on her IG if she has involvement with Origins, and she said no. She put a smiling face, so obviously she could have been joking or teasing the fans and everything like that. And I think it makes no sense for her not to have involvement. Once again, based off everything we heard in OG Power, at the very least, a season or two before she moves away, changes her name, everything of the sort. We got to see how that's gonna play out, but this is what we know about her knowing Ghost and Tommy. We heard, of course, Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy tell one another. One of the more interesting or quotes that kind of match up to the quote I just played when they kidnapped Tariq and Ghost asks him, "Who has my son?" We overhear Kanan telling Ghost,
"You got my boy, Kay. One of the baddest motherfuckers we both know. She run these streets harder than some of these men, but ain't got no heart." Jukebox.
Ghost knew who it was, so that gave us an idea of her being big time, at least back in the day, and that's why we've been waiting for so long in all these seasons to see her finally enter the game. So not only do we know, of course, Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy had insight into Jukebox and who she was, with Ghost and Tommy calling her that crazy bitch.
And remember Jukebox? Yeah, that fucking crazy bitch. That one.
So she had to be putting in some work at the very least. I'm hoping to see that. But also she had insight into them as well, talking about how Ghost was smart as hell, always had his head in his book, and how close him and Kanan was.
Not Ghost. Ghost. Man, Ghost, he was your boy, that kid. Always with his head in the motherfucking book. Vicious with a piece, though.
So this lets us know she crossed paths with them on numerous occasions, and she was fully in the field. She was all in. So it would legit make zero sense for them not to include her, especially because her character is finally getting into the life that the rest of her family has been in since the beginning. She's probably the most interesting character to me in Raising Kanan, her and Marvin. So not having her involvement when she's the best she's ever been, it just would be idiotic. But once again, I think she was playing on her IG story, and it's obvious she's gonna be in this season. At least we could hope. You could not have Angela, I don't like it, but I guess it could slide. Not having Jukebox, nah bro, don't do that shit. Now we finally get into the actors that are playing young Ghost and young Tommy, and it's kind of interesting because I wanted Carl from Shameless, fucking young badass Carl, to play young Tommy just because I fuck with him, but I'm not necessarily mad at these actors. So we got Spencer Moore, Charlie Mann as Tommy, I believe. A lot of people have problems with Spencer Moore specifically. I think a lot of these people don't know that there is a time skip, first off, but a lot of people don't like that he's bigger and taller than Kanan already. They thought we was gonna get like a young version of Ghost, obviously. So I think a lot of them don't know we do get this time skip. But something that's interesting about this time skip in general is, are we not ending with Ghost and Tommy, or well, Ghost at least, and Tasha setting up Kanan and him going to jail, and that's where it just leads off? Then we skip the 20 years to the OG Power. Are we gonna get more in the aftermath of that? Tasha getting pregnant, Tommy and Ghost continuing their business once Kanan is gone, officially taking over and running everything. We see all those steps, because if so, I think the time skip makes more sense. But if they're still gonna end with Kanan going to jail and that's the end of the series, which I hope not, then they should have just started from the beginning and included the Angelas and everything like that. So that's something we have to see and look forward to with this series, of how far are they actually gonna go with the story and everything like that, because we're gonna see Tommy and Ghost set up the laundromats and install who they want in place, like rollers to take over the blocks they used to run and all that. I think that would be more interesting, because then we're kind of going in blind. Like there's literally no information on that time period after Kanan goes to jail. Like we got a lot of speculation going into Raising Kanan and going into the earlier seasons of Origins, but we literally have nothing about what happens once Kanan get arrested, besides that Ghost and Tommy officially made it to the top by the time the OG Power starts. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. How long are they gonna actually extend the story? And I think the end of Raising Kanan should give us a lot of information on that as well. If we see a younger version of Ghost and Tommy before the official time skip leading into Origins, what happens to the rest of the, of course, Thomas family, Rock, Marvin, Lou, everything like that. We have a lot of information we still have to wait and see. But I think based off what I said, we were able to piece together and speculate a lot of the characters' inclusion, the storylines we're gonna see take place early on. So I think I did a pretty good job with that. Overall though, that's it for this video. Based off the exclusives, the leaks, everything we got, the teasers so far for Power Origins, I really want to hear your opinions on this time jump once again, because we possibly can miss out on a lot, or they just scrap the timeline as we know it. Power timeline honestly makes no sense. If you watch Power, you should know that by now. If you try to create a timeline, it gets messy quickly. But I feel like a few key details still need to stay in place for the story to work and connect to the OG Power. So I don't know, the time skip can fuck things up. It can be good. We're gonna have to wait and see. A lot of the cast, I know people are having problems currently. I'm gonna have to wait to see how they perform as well, but I don't know, I'm excited, especially if the season starts right after Raising Kanan, like I think they're gonna do, and we basically get 20 episodes straight. That's gonna be ridiculous. But once again, leave your thoughts, opinions on everything down below in the comment section. I'm out.